What's happening, my good people? It's your boy PKG Deluxe here, back with another vid on how I did. You already know what it is. So, I'm back to talk about something that we were also doing in Myrtle Beach today, and that was transferring from job to job. So I told you in the previous episode that it was an easy way to make like $2,000 in 1 week if you really want to stack your jobs back to back to back like that. But I ran into someone that job I was doing. This guy's, who was a great client to work with, he was also having a little issues with his internet connection, and we both kind of figured out exactly what that was. So this was probably the most generous customer client that I've ever worked with, and he was so sympathetic to a lot of causes. So I felt it on my behalf that I needed to go back and make sure that I did his job so effectively well. So today there was a job that I could have finished the first day, but it wasn't any fault of myself. But my recommendation was just that, hey, could you get a better mesh system, and let's use that and see if that'll extend out a little bit further so that you can get connection to your printer. So that you can get a connection to your printer and computer and use that in accordance with each other. So we were looking at trying to figure out why his printer would drop and why his connection to the computer would drop and laptop. And I was just like, man, it has to be your internet at this point. So he goes to get the internet router, comes back with the router, tells me about it. I call him. I'm like, hey, I'm in town again. Let's see if we can get it plugged up this time. So I go up there, I plug up the router for him. We got it going. So it's like, all right, cool. It extends this far. Go to the computer. All right, cool. Computer reads the printer. All right, cool. Printer is now available. Cool. All of the information is now popping up. I'm like, wow. This job is really as easy as I thought it was. It was just a prediction, just like that. This man really needed a mesh extender just to make it so that his internet service that he had that was going all the way out to the door was able to make it to the next location, which was his computer room. None of the stuff that he had in there was hardwired, but he did have a lot of electronics in there that required 4K, if not Wi-Fi streaming content. So with that service, that's the only reason why he wasn't able to get everything, but it worked out in a better fashion. Now, this client I was working with, man, I admit he was the best client in the world, so I was happy to help him out as best I did. We got in there, knocked everything out, showed him the ropes, had all of his internet stuff configured from the printer, and did the diagnostics, so now he's happy about that. And on the side, he was like, hey, man, like, let me know the next time, you're available, and because I have some stuff, and he's willing to help me, and he's going to help me make business cards. Like, that's where it starts to go into your interpersonal skills. You start to become who you are with the job, and they're like, hey, man, you're good at this stuff. I'm not, but I know a lot of people that aren't. So guess what? I'm going to make sure you get plugged in with all these people. Those are just more clients. Those are all independent clients that have nothing to do with Hello Tech. Independent. I don't even have to mention a Hello Tech to them. And he is also offering an opportunity to say, hey, I'll even print your business cards for you to make sure you get going, because I want to make sure you succeed. You're the greatest. And he's just telling me all these things. And then he goes on to talk about his significant other is a reporter. I'm just like, man, like, we're gonna make sure that you make it. And I'm like, man, I would love to be that guy one day. Like, So he was very encouraging, very enthusiastic, and very good heart-spirited person. Like, never met another person like him ever. And so his background, I will say that he is probably one of the better end of people that I've ever encountered. So I was happy to service him. I was even happier to make sure that he was straight to go. And he knows if he needs me that he can just call me. He doesn't have to use Hello Tech. And that's also the good thing, the clientele. You start to build it. You start to build that brand. I got people right now that's just like, hey, if I ever have something down, I'm calling you, dog. Like, all right, bet. And I appreciate that. So it's just to help you guys get out there and make a little quick change. The hustle is still strong out here, so I want you guys to be stronger, all right? PKG Deluxe is here. PKG Deluxe out, baby.